Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we're gonna have ourselves a 1v1 on Bystraya Voda. Our heroes today are going to be Mr. VonIvan, playing as the Soviets in the blue. And his opponent in the pink or purple trunks is going to be none other than HOI-PauL.a.D, playing as the Austir or Wehrmacht faction. Two awesome players. Should be a good match. Do apologize for the small gap in the videos. It was only one day, really, as far as the schedule goes. I did mention I had to go out of town, even though that wasn't the one I was mentioning. I'm still going out of town, but I actually am in a position where, if I play my cards right, there should be no interruption in the frequency of videos. So changes might occur in my absence, and I will be unable to, account for that. But I think it looks good for these videos, at least in the immediate future. So anyways, PauL.a.D starting up in the fashion that we saw him last, going for the Assault Grenadier opening with the Mechanized Assault Doctrine. Remembered he went double Assault Grens, double Pios if I'm not mistaken, and also got himself an MG42 because you can now get the MG42 from the HQ. VonIvan, for his part, is just getting conscripts and more conscripts, although, he only has 2 conscripts, and now he's opening up with a second combat engineer squad. So I can only assume that he's going to be teching. So anyways, the engagement going down here in the south. Conscripts, combat engineers against Pios and mech assault Grens, or assault Grens, not really mech assault Grens. The Grens do win the engagement up close. Second Gren squad coming up behind the combat engineers. They retreat. Didn't really lose anybody. Took a lot of health damage though. 4 men strong and less than half health. They're not going to be living too long in the next engagement. But PauL.a.D, winning the southern engagement, is going to start laying down some wire, as he has already actually captured the southern fuel while the engagement was going on. So he's going to try and cut off this approach. Can you actually go around this side? Maybe. I don't know. We'll see what he ends up wiring. So yeah, VonIvan got a second combat engineer squad currently on the field. Did he get the second one because he wants the tech, or what is the current scenario? So we do have a conscript squad out on the field. We have another combat engineer squad on the field moving down south. The Pios still laying down the wire. The combat engineers could punish them in the process. And yeah, we see tier 1 going down. Yeah, I expect so. Considering the 2 combat engineers, I can only assume he's going to be going for a scout car. Scout car seems a logical choice, considering that Assault Grens don't have the Faust ability, so you can quickly get on top of them and do a lot of damage. SMGs can quickly kill your Scout car, but, more often than not, you end up in the winning side of that engagement, because you can even just keep the Scout car in range and not get up close, so that the SMGs can't really do that much. And yeah, we see VonIvan going for the Scout car, as we assumed. Up in the north, conscript squad popping into the house as they deny it quickly to the Pios. Pios will lose this engagement as they have a combat engineer squad coming up for the flank. They lose one of their men and promptly will be retreating from the battlefield. Promptly meaning now. No? Okay, well, there goes, lose a second man, and then at one point they'll leave. There they go. Assault Grens moving out of the house in the center. Has another Assault Gren squad behind it capturing the munitions. Up in the church, we have an MG42. Like we said, we've seen this before. I'm not sure if it's actually standard, but at least for PauL.a.D, we've seen it done before. And the Assault Grens move a little bit further forward and capture the strategic point right outside of VonIvan's base. Scout car online, flamethrower equipped, ready to kick some ass. Gonna go for the Assault Grens right up front. Will he close the distance to get the flamethrower going? Well, the Assault Grens instantly retreat, so he can actually close the distance and get right on top of them. Second Assault Gren squad now retreating. They know they are in big trouble here against a scout car. Everybody flushing out. Damn. VonIvan, though, exercising a bit more caution, keeping a level head, and is going to retreat. Does not want to chase them all the way back to base into a possible trap. We can see from our point of view, obviously nothing was actually going on. We see tier 2 only now getting built, so he could have actually gone in and done a lot of damage, but he doesn't know that. and it's that level-headedness that lets you get on up there, right? So scout car crushing some wire down south. VonIvan properly aware that that was going on, so he Wow, sorry. He opens a gap, and the combat engineers will cap as the scout car just remains vigilant. Sandbags going down for VonIvan while he caps. Again, no reason not to do that if you can, if you're not currently being engaged. Get your sandbags on. And not much else going on for him. He is going to get assaulted by the 2 assault grunts and a pyro squad and even the MG at range. So that conscript squad is dead or gone, and it's gone. So yeah, that's not surprising. At least it shouldn't be to anybody. But yeah, VonIvan currently capturing a lot of the map. Hasn't really gone anything else. He's now up to 600 manpower. Not entirely sure what he's waiting for. I'm assuming he's waiting to get the command points for shock troops and spending the manpower in that sense. Did go for the shock rifle frontline tactics, obviously. Otherwise he wouldn't have been able to get shock troops. But not sure what he's waiting for. He's up to... Oh, there he goes. Okay, so yeah, he's going to be using shock troops. 390, they're pretty expensive. He can call in another one as soon as the cooldown goes off if he wants to. Because he's actually keeping a surprisingly low count. Oh, the 222 on the field now for HOI-PauL.a.D. That will quickly work through the Soviet scout car, as it well should. Already comes out upgraded with that 222 cannon. So, yeah, combat engineers pop out, say goodbye to their friends, and run back to base. And yeah, I was saying that VonIvan, I mean, he actually has a surprisingly low count of conscripts. It is not unseen that, you know, people just make conscripts. Could almost call it spam. But well, HOI-PauL.a.D. keeping to his strategy that we saw the last time, also gets himself a half-track on the field, getting a flank actually going on that conscript squad putting itself in a very tight spot. Can it actually make it out of there alive? The half-track trying to give chase, decides against it and barely stays alive, making it out there with a sliver of health. The scout car took an anti-tank grenade to the face, losing, or well, not losing, but damaging its engine and taking quite a bit of life away from it. MG42 getting flanked here by a combat engineer squad with flamethrowers, trying to kill off its stray men. MG42 forced to retreat. The shock troops now on the field, pushing forward. We see a second shock troop squad on the field for VonIvan as he lost a conscript squad. Let me go ahead and write that down. I did not see the killing of it, unless it was that same one that was retreating. There we go. Okay, so anyways, ooh, nice grenade going off there by the shock troop squad right on top of the half-track. Doesn't do a lot of damage. It's not meant to do a lot of damage. It is an anti-personnel grenade, not an anti-tank. And the shock troops taking a lot of punishment as they push forward, trying to get on top of the half-track. Decent idea when it had the MG, not the best once it got its flamethrower. Conscript squad moving out into the field with 4 men, not in the best of shape to go up against a flamethrower, but they are needed on the field. God damn it, Brain, stop it. You don't need that much oxygen. I know you're tired, but you gotta suck it up. Anyways, yeah, they're needed on the field because they're the only conscripts now, and they have, you know, they have the anti-tank grenades. So assault grunts managing to hold the line. Smoke grenade got tossed at the MG42 to block its line of sight, but it did not matter as the engagement did go in HOI-PauL.a.D.'s favor. And we now see the mechanized assault group getting called in. That's the 250 half-track with a Panzer Grenadier squad inside. Don't necessarily need it to get Panzer Grenadiers, since he is going, you know, tier 2 after all. But, you know, does give you that nice mobility, being able to chase down troops and killing them. And you can also pop in some Pioneers with flamethrowers if you so wanted to. That's Minefield getting laid down in the southern victory point for HOI-PauL.a.D. Left-hand side, we see the half-track and the, well, both half-tracks, I suppose. I'm not sure how to distinguish them. The 250 and the 251 on the field. Camping, kinda, in front of the base for VonIvan. VonIvan calling it a 3rd shock troop squad. Interesting way of spending that manpower. Conscripts are getting reinforced finally. We do have medics on the field for VonIvan, so those troops will get some TLC as they move out. And now we see triple shock troop squads followed by a conscript moving up to the north. Southern side of the map, we see the combat engineers moving. Second squad as well. And we still see some S minefields getting laid down. Yeah. So MG42 in the center house, catching the combat engineers moving through down south. Grenade going off on the... oh, damn. This 222 getting surrounded by shock troops, getting gunned down by SMGs, and behind them we now have the Panzer Grenadiers on their own half-track trying to inflict the damage. The conscripts do have the ability to throw AT grenades, but they don't have the munitions, so the flame half-track will remain alive. Grenades do fly from the shock troops. One shock troop squad retreating through the path of an assault grenade squad, very low in health, but this second half-track is getting gunned down by the massive amounts of troops. Shock Troop Squad barely makes it out of there alive as the MG42 is unable to stop the infantry on the south. They continue to pursue the half-track. AT grenade goes off on the half-track, gets the engine, gets the damage. One Shock Troop Squad forced to retreat. Second squad full strength, no longer full strength, has to get bursted down. Main gun destroyed on the flame half-track, not able to return fire anymore, and it's getting chased down by the shock troops. Can they pick it up before it gets into range of its MG? Well, there's the line. They get in the range. Can they pick up the kill? No, it looks... Oh, very close there for VonIvan. Only barely able to... Oh, PauL.a.D barely able to keep his tank alive. One of the combat engineer squads did get killed off. It looks to be the one that got pinned by the MG around here. We'll see if we can take a look at how it died. MG at the... And PauL.a.D still able to control most of the map. We do see VonIvan investing a lot in those shock troops. He now has 4 shock troops on the field. Working out decently so far, managing to inflict a lot of damage. Even the other half-track being forced to be back at base. We do have 2 Pios on the field, like we said, but they are not currently at base. They are laying down S minefields in front of a combat engineer squad. However, the combat engineer squad has a flamethrower, not a sweeper, so they are going to be unable to clear the minefield by normal methods. They could potentially clear it out with the flamethrower itself, but it's a little bit difficult and it takes some time. Combat engineers managing to dodge most of the S minefields. They lost one of their men as they retreat, but it makes it out of there, and we now have shock troops just sitting back, awaiting orders to move out for a flank of sorts. Conscripts being utilized here to reinforce the shock troop squads, being merged to them. That should allow him to save a little bit of manpower in the process, as long as he doesn't accidentally fully merge it. MG42 getting flushed out of the center house, now getting chased down by the shock troops. Shock troop squad catching one of the men, shooting them down, and forcing the retreat of the MG. We do have a second MG on the field for PauL.a.D. It is currently being produced, however. So it's not on the field, sorry. But we do have a second one being produced. Panzer Grenadier squad with its half-track once again moving out onto the field. Should be able to do a decent amount of damage to the shock troops, but it will get destroyed due to the sheer volume of small arms fire going up against it. Panzer Grenadiers are only 4 men, and those are 4 assault rifles, but yeah, I mean it's gonna take a while for them to kill that many shock troops. So the shock troops just decide to harass it and push forward, going for the strategic point, and that is not going to accomplish too much. It's not going to cut off the southern resources, as we do still have this munition in the possession for PauL.a.D, which means he still has a supply path back to his base. Assault grenades down south, defending the fuel point. And up in the north, we see VonIvan just starting to recapture some territory with his troops. Shock troops trying to hold the line against the approaching infantry and MG42. They do have some heavy sandbags, so that'll allow them to hold off for a little bit until the flamethrower comes up on the flank and does a massive amount of damage to them. Flamethrower burst goes off. There goes the damage. Down to 4 men. Can he actually get the squad out of there alive? Well, there it goes, but it's very low in health. Going to be chased down. I don't think... Yeah, no way. No way, no how. Blitz strike there by PauL.a.D, getting right on top and cutting off the retreat path, killing that one squad. So VonIvan is down to 3. VonIvan did decide to go for another combat engineer squad, now with the sweeper, to be able to clear off these mines in the south. Gets another one, which is interesting. Ah, second sweeper. Okay, so he has seen and realized that PauL.a.D is, you know, doing quite a bit when it comes to mining, so he's gonna go ahead and invest in clearing that out. Should be able to help him out quite a bit later in the game once he can afford, or, well, I mean, afford, I suppose. Well, no longer is the case. There goes that combat engineer squad. I was going to say having 3 combat engineers would help him out later in the game once he can call in those tanks, you know, the KV-8 and the IS-2, when and if we get to that. Probably when, I mean, if you win that Doctrine, it's probably going to get at least one of those tanks. Maybe not the KV-8, but at least the IS-2, right? Nice grenade going off on that Assault Grunt squad, getting caught there, body blocked by the Shock Troop squad, getting itself killed. But the Shock Troop squad is now in a bit of a precarious spot as it has to run the gauntlet against 3 flamers. We have a Pyro squad with a flamer inside the half-track, and a half-track with 2 flamethrowers on its sides. But it looks like it's going to make it out of there. It wasn't being focused down, so it should be fine. We now have a Stuggy on the field for PauL.a.D, utilizing that Doctrine as best as he can. Second Stuggy coming out. That is a lot coming out against VonIvan. Can he field anything to stop that? Well, he does not have access to AT guns. Only has 1 squad that can throw anti-tank grenades, so something tells me no. What can he do here? Well, we have a light artillery barrage getting called in by PauL.a.D right on top of the base. Retreating troops getting artillery. Combat engineer squad taking the brunt of the damage, losing most of its members, but staying alive, although barely. And the conscript squad trying its best to hide and, well, not even reinforce itself. Just hiding so far. And yeah, you can see right there, by utilizing the conscripts, he was saving himself the 12 manpower for reinforce. KV-8 now on the field. KV-8 doesn't have the best of weaponry, but neither do the Stuggies, and he's now on the rear of them. There goes the hits. Conscript squad going to be throwing an anti-tank grenade at that Stug. There goes the engine. Nice hit. 1 Stuggy may be going down here. We have the remaining troops, or the rest of the troops here, for PauL.a.D getting right on top of the base, trying to take out that lone conscript squad. Conscript squad taking a lot of damage. Forced to hit retreat, but it's going to retreat straight into the middle of everything and take a lot of damage, potentially dying. We see the shock troops and everything pushing forward. The half-tracks are very vulnerable here to the infantry fire. The KV-8 doing a lot of damage here. The Stuggy's unable to penetrate its armor. So even though usually... Oh, there goes the abandoned. Will PauL.a.D put an end to it, or will he be gifting a free Stuggy? No, it looks like he's going to go for the execute. Takes a... Oh! He missed the crit. Well, I mean, it's still there. He breaks line of sight. Rear armor hit. The KV-8 still doing a lot of damage to the Stuggy. The Stuggy's weapon is not a good counter against the Stuggy. And, oh, well, he goes for the cap and finally hits the hit. So no free Stuggy for VonIvan, but PauL.a.D retreats his troops. Starts building himself a pack gun because he knows that KV-8 is kind of unstoppable with what he has. Did he build a second half-track? Looks like he did, right? Well, Stuggy getting chased down by the KV-8. We have this, yeah, this second half-track on the field. Panzer Grenadier squad retreating from it. Oh, the P-Grens. I'll catch that if I can. But the KV-8's main gun actually doing a lot of work right now. There's a lot of light vehicles, a lot of things out there. The Panzer Grenadiers deciding to destroy their own vehicle. Again, PauL.a.D knows that he cannot really afford to give free weaponry to his opponent. And the KV-8 just being a total boss right now and actually using its main gun for once and being very effective against him. Very nice. As Minefield's getting triggered somewhere in the map. Looks like down here on the south. Conscripts and shock troops just running through the mines. VonIvan took quite a bit of losses. He's down to 2 shock troop squads, managing to keep his conscripts alive. Veteran C3 has been acquired. And the combat engineers, he lost most of them. It's just down to 1. But managed to stabilize. I mean, that was potentially a killing blow back at the base, but that KV-8, yeah, look at that. I mean, when have you seen a, well, actually, it doesn't have kills. Huh, that's actually kind of disappointing. I was going to say, when have you seen KV-8s with these many vehicle kills, but I guess he didn't really get that many, right? Like, not even, so when you get an abandoned, it's not a kill, I guess? Huh. So anyways, Stuggies pushing up, trying to push back the KV-8. KV-8 now getting harassed here by Panzer Shreks on the Panzer Grenadiers. Panzer Grenadiers staying alive, losing one of its members in the explosion, but the KV-8 is still online and active, has suffered a lot of damage there. Panzer Shreks are the bigger threat here. Pack gun is still on the field, so that's also a threat. It's currently over here on the right-hand side. But the KV-8 has done its work. I think it's just going to move back and repair. Combat engineer squad is getting produced for VonIvan because, yeah, he knows he needs at least 2 if he's going to be utilizing those heavy vehicles, which is why I was saying a little bit before we got rudely interrupted by all this awesome action, that having 3 combat engineers on the field would have helped them out quite a bit in the long run once these heavy tanks came out. He would have been able to repair them and field them out very quickly. Center map, KV-8 still fighting, catching the half-track, a bit out of position. A2 grenade goes off, damages the engine on the half-track. Half-track trying to run away. We do have the Panzer Grenadiers and the AT gun nearby, but it looks like the KV-8 may be able to pick up the kill here on... Oh, it whiffs its shot. Half-track stays alive. Veteran C3, not something you want happening, but not a lot here that VonIvan could do. He could have pursued with the KV-8, but that would have potentially gotten it killed. So yeah, again, it's nothing if not cautious and level-headed. A lot of times you just want to go in, I want to kill it, and you end up sacrificing and losing too much. So yeah, props to him. Oh, 4 combat engineer squads for VonIvan. So yeah, I think he definitely knows that having more than 2 combat engineers goes a long way when you have these heavy tanks, KV-8 and the IS-2. Flamethrower once again seeing action in this game, trying to flush out that flamethrower in the church. Church bursts to flames. Down goes the MG42. Does it get lost to the battlefield? It looks like it did. Yeah. Now managed to make it out of there. Church catches fire and will be collapsing rather soon. And down south, we see a Stuggy engaging a shock group squad. MG42 also engaging it, forcing it to retreat. And the Stuggy could potentially pick up a kill here. They're kind of spread out, so it's very unlikely. And it doesn't even turn itself around. It looks like it's needed elsewhere, so... away it goes. 5 combat engineer squads. Wow, VonIvan is crazy. But I mean that that means that KV-8 is getting spinning rims and shit now.
The enemy is taking our territory.
Stuggy moving around in the center. Shock troops getting caught by it. They're very clumped up. Could take a lot of losses in one hit. Well, manages to only lose 2, which is actually pretty lucky there for VonIvan, considering how clumped up they were. A2 grenade does go off, nails the Stuggy, but the Stuggy was at full health, so no damage to the engine.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
And VonIvan's just utilizing those smoke grenades willy-nilly with those shock troops. I mean, that's very effective. I mean, the Stuggy can't even see him, and he's just attacking ground in a different side. The smoke will dissipate rather soon. The Stuggy will notice them. They're very clumped up, so that's very dangerous right there. Oh, yeah, that's what I was talking about. There goes the shot. Stuggy gets its veteran C2, but the KV-8 now comes back with a vengeance. Going to be activating its main gun. The Panzer Grenadiers will be throwing some Shreks at it. The pack gun will also get some shots off on it and damage it severely. So this is a losing engagement here for VonIvan, so he will be forced to retreat. But again, he has a lot of combat engineers. Those combat engineers will come into play very soon as they retreat in the face of the flamethrower. Whoa, this squad may actually die. Oh, down goes the combat engineer squad. Ooh, bad luck there for VonIvan. Second combat engineer squad retreating. The flame half-track trying to catch some kills there. What are the bonuses for the flame half-track? It says mobility and reinforcement radius, and then the third one is sighting and reinforcement radius. Okay, well, it doesn't really seem to affect the weapon unless it's hidden. And if it does, well, let me know. But yeah, looks like the flamethrower is just as deadly as if it was not veteran, but you know, it gets more sight range and shit like that. Combat engineer squads, 3 at a time, trying to get that KV-8 up and working. The shock troop squad count has dwindled significantly, down to 1 squad in total, so PauL.a.D still holding strong. Has the command points available to get himself the Tiger, but does not have the fuel just yet. Needs 5 more fuel, which he will be getting soon. It's floating up to 1,000 manpower, which doesn't really need to do. I mean, he only needs 640, so it's a little bit too much float, but I guess he wants to make sure that his pop cap is not affected. So, yeah, I mean, he's probably going to call in the tank now. There it goes. And then he's going to start utilizing that manpower. So, yeah, Tiger on the field. KV-8's days, or the reign of the KV-8 is now over. Needs the support of the IS-2 if it wants to stay alive. Fuel is a little bit down there for VonIvan. Still needs a little bit more than 30. 33, well, 32 now to be exact. So the Tiger, again, will reign supreme. We do have 2 pack guns as well, so even with the IS-2, if it hits the field, it's going to be a tough sell there. And VonIvan, well, he doesn't have that tier 2, so he can't field AT guns unless he wants to spend some fuel now. And something tells me he's not going to want to, so what can he do here? Well, KV-8 getting hit by Shreks, getting spotted here by the Tiger. GTFOing very quickly. That's kind of one of the fastest moving KV-8s I've seen. Does he get, yeah, vehicle mobility and weapon targeting? So at Veterancy 2, it looks like they move better. Combat Engineers getting harassed there by the Tiger as the KV-8 tries to dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge its way from the Tiger. Manages to elude it for once, or well, for now. And we see something getting burned over there. Probably part of a chopper squad. Combat Engineers retreating, Combat Engineers dying, and VonIvan is desperately counting those seconds as the fuel incomes adds up. He's at 212, 213 now. Needs to get up to 230 to get that IS-2. Also needs some manpower, but the manpower will probably be up to 640 before the fuel, so I mean easily on it. So yeah, considering the 10, it's 10 per minute, right? So yeah, he still needs quite a bit more. KV-8 main gun has been has come into play quite a bit during this game. Shooting back at the Stuggy and the half track. We see the Tiger moving up behind, AT gun moving up in front of it. So PauL.a.D looks to be setting up for the killing blow here, the coup de grace, so to speak. Opening up the flank, down goes the MG bunker. So that opens up the base. Tier 1 will be going down here for VonIvan, but I don't think he's going to care too much of that. Doesn't seem like he's going to be spending it too much. Down to 7 fuel per minute. 221 fuel acquired, so he needs a minute and a little bit more. KV-8 now up on the field. The S minefield getting ignored there by the shock troops and such. Shock troops moving up. Oof. Combat Engineers retreating back in base. Down goes Tier 1. Another bunker is there for the killing. And a cape. What is he? Oh my god, is this a base race scenario? KV-8 going for the base for PauL.a.D. PauL.a.D is caught unaware. Second KV-8 coming onto the field. The Tiger turning itself around. It's going to ignore the base. Everybody turning around and going back. These guys could just simply retreat and head their way back. But no, the Panzer Grenadiers head themselves into base. KV-8 is moving up, and the KV-8 with the flamethrower is now at the base. Currently targeting the Tier 2. Oh my god, is this actually gonna happen? Well, KV-8 up in the north, goes in. Shock troops in the way. The Tiger now realizing what's happening? No? Is it? What's it doing? Well, the Stuggy and everybody's pulling back. The pack guns are slowly making their way. Tier 2 has gone down for PauL.a.D. He's now targeting the HQ. Do you need to destroy all the buildings or just the production buildings? I think. Well, we're gonna find out. Oh my god, so PauL.a.D is currently getting burned out. He's sending everything back slowly but steadily. The HQ is about to go down. Is this actually gonna kill PauL.a.D? Oh my god, VonIvan, you brilliant maniac. Down goes the HQ. Is that game? That's game! Oh my god, VonIvan. GG. GG. Wow. So there you go, guys. Whenever you are currently being besieged by a Tiger and the opponent is in your base, well, just go to his base and kill him. PauL.a.D could have actually won that if he just stayed at base and targeted the HQ and killed it. That would have been game. It wouldn't have given VonIvan enough time, but I guess he just wasn't expecting that. Man, wow. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the game. If you have any positive or negative remarks, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great game. Great game? Yeah, well, great day. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.